everyone, it's Katsumi, and today we're doing a timeless love reading. So whenever you find this, trust is a message here meant for you. So let's check in on what energies surround you at this time and what people are thinking about or finding attractive about you at this time. So starting off, you have the merchants. So people are very attracted by your self-worth. You have a lot of charismatic capabilities about you, something about like the way that you almost like do things in life. Like I got the word trade because of the merchant, almost like how you trade your skills for things, or like just for like overall just like the ability to trade or make transactions with people. You take yourself very seriously. Ooh, people do feel like you're a missed opportunity as well because they could have done better when they were in your presence. But I just feel as though like you're very full of self-love, care, and gratitude at this time. People find that to be very attractive. You know your worth, and because of that, you're not going to sell yourself short. And people do feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity on their end because they have a sense of failure with you in terms of like what they could have done better and how they could have like improved in order to like have you in their life or have your presence in their life. There's also a bit of cause and effect there and a sense of clarity. Like you are someone who brings people a lot of clarity in relationships. And because of that, it's almost like people are like, you know, like when like the idea of like, oh, this idea was like slept on, or like people feel like they are not really waking up when they're around you because like and when they do, it's too late. And it's almost like a dreamy vibe with the sleeper where it's just like they're in this like dreamlike state that they can't wake up enough to make action around you. And yeah, and they kind of wish that they were able to like utilize their knowledge or the wisdom that they have when they had like initial interactions with you, so that they wouldn't be like sleeping on the idea of like having some sort of relationship with you or making the next steps. So I'm kind of also getting like past relationships as well, or just people who might have just been very like friendly with you and was thinking about you from time to time, and they just all of a sudden thought, okay, you know what, I should have made a move, right? I'm getting that, right? And they also feel like they kind of have to surrender to what the situation is because they know that like, remember when I said before, like your self-worth is so up there that they're just like, you know what, I have to like just surrender because I don't know if I'm going to be able to like take this leap of faith or anything like that. We got the Fool card, so I kind of got that leap of faith vibe where it's just like they see the potential there and they're very hopeful and they want to trust this new path, potentially like leading them to a relationship with you, but they have no idea how to start or where to begin. Almost like I'm almost getting like flustered, like they're super confused, super like in the clouds with the sleeper, like they have no idea how they want to make a move on you, right? There's a sense of balance and innovation here, so people do want to get a little innovative on how they like show up in the relationship with you, and they just don't know how, but things are kind of speeding up for both of you in some sense, or even for them, and they might make a move soon, right? my dice are just rolling all over the place. I was supposed to go like that, right? But let's get this number 5 out here. Okay, so we're getting 517. That might be of significance. We're just spraying the dice across the board, right? And then we also have a couple of runes popping out too. So we'll go through that in a second based on like this is orientation, like their movement. But yeah, 5 and 17 wanted to just like splat like all across the board there. So maybe that might be of significance. So maybe the 5th month of the year in the 17th day, or maybe 5 and 17 might be of significance for either of you. So take it where it resonates. But somewhere along those 2 dates, I'm getting some Knight of, like King of Swords vibes. And that's all about like a sense of like rationality coming through, logic, some sense of authority, truth. Just like intellectual power or intelligent power coming through with that. And that makes a lot of sense with like the self-worth. So maybe that's almost like a very special time for you where you're just like, maybe middle of the year, you were like, I'm discovering my self-worth, and this is how people are then like seeing that attractiveness in you, and that's coming through. It might even be for some of you that this is like a time frame when you were having some sort of pregnancy, or even next year, previous year, or next year, this year, who knows. And perhaps when you might be thinking about when you're going to leave a legacy, or how you're going to be doing about like going about that. But people find that very attractive about you, where you have this almost like fatherly, motherly, like parental kind of like personality that literally like shines forth, so much so that people see you in this regard of just like, wow, this person is like a very loving, caring person. And you're like diving deep into like the conversations you're having with people. You're taking your time to do that with the swan spirit. So it's very beautiful. But yeah, people do feel like you're a missed opportunity in some regard. And we do have the particular rune here, now these is about almost like restrictions and delays. So that makes quite a bit of sense and is very symbolic, being on top of the forgotten card with missed opportunities and fear of failure. Because now this is all about need and necessities, and with restrictions coming through, there's also delays, hardships. There's a lot of pressure, and so people do want to like have that shadow work and be able to work on themselves when they're around you. But they kind of need to take the leap of faith with the Fool card in order to do that. And they feel as though life is also speeding up. And oh, this is wow. We have two X's actually. So we have now these here, and we have Gable here, and yeah, they kind of are very similar, right? So yeah, actually you had like gifts in exchange here. So maybe someone wanted to give you a gift of some kind, or have some sort of partnership with you, with Gable. And because of that, they feel like it was a missed opportunity for that sense of unity or reciprocity in order to give you that gift. So it's interesting that I mentioned something about now these being here, but it seems as though it is in relation because it's overlaying over the Forgotten card. Number 2 might be of significance, but with now these here, it's really just that while life is speeding up, they do feel like they have some sense of delays occurring for them, which is just, combating their ability to come forth, right? But yeah, people do have small regrets and like longing for you. People are seeing you in such a way where they desire your affection because they just love to be around you with the Herald. You're full of balance, as we mentioned before, with like the way you show up. And they almost feel like they wish they could start over, like just break everything apart and like reinvent the relationship again so that they can have balance with you. Yeah. And they are thinking in a sense that you are open to infinite possibilities because you're very open-minded. And so because of that, they see you to be a very generous person and someone who is giving and open to infinite possibilities. We have like these 3 of Cups here, which is interesting. So the 3 of Cups is all about joy, friendship, community, support, and gather. And it's very interesting to see like the sun in the background as well, which is about joy, clarity. There's some sense of success and like vitality in this, but we're getting a lot of happiness. So people see you in these like joyful states and a sense of clarity, someone who's very successful and full of happiness. And it's because you are someone who brings people together. You have a strong foundation around like wanting to have a sense of community around you. And you're also managing things too with the 2 of Pentacles, which is all about balance. People think that you're very adaptable and you're juggling all these options, which is very interesting with the Muse, right? Kind of gave me like 7 of Cups vibes, where you have like that fantasy, you're very dreamy, things are very tempting, and people find you in this sort of way where you are very almost like a temptress or like a emperor kind of vibe. So we get that. And the Emperor is about someone who is structured, who has full of like lots of structure, stability. They find you to be very respectful, strategic, someone who knows how to plan things. And that really comes forth in the reading here. Oh, and then I also forgot to read this particular rune. So this is Laguz. And Laguz is all about flow, emotion, intuition, dreams. There's a bit of depth here as well. There might be some of you who like are water signs, like Cancerian, for instance. There's also subconsciousness and like healing, and people feel as though like you're flowing like water, right? And that really comes across in a very like, very free-flowing way, very carefree way. And so that's what people find very attractive about you at this time. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's reading. And if it resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.